illegal because
testing 1 2. All right, we got audio. We're good.
The most
thank
popular
you, YouTube.
game
Sorry,
in 2020.
you missed the
Minecraft.
Full circle.
The children yearn for the mines.
I'd like to point out that we just had a whole long conversation about Avatar and the boulder, and
It'll be the last episode.
yeah, well, because it's nowhere to be found at this point. All right, let me go ahead and start practicing the intro, and then we'll get started. So give me a second. All right, it's a Monday, and several loose tires and trips into the wall caused problems, but they would not stop Martin Truex from getting his first win at his home track. We are here for the speed.
Wait a minute.
What?
I thought this was like his 4th win at New Hampshire.
I heard it was his first, but
first win at New Hampshire.
it is,
30
right?
starts.
Let's verify that, because I thought it was his first.
It's his first.
Okay.
It's Toyota's like billionth, but
Well, of course.
no, it's definitely his first.
Okay. What was that?
I jumped out the line and just bah, bah, bah.
Hey, you got to turn the audio off, clown.
Yeah, come on.
I'm sorry. Leave me alone.
Come on, do better.
I'm trying.
You know what? You lazy. Well, the guy we were listening to.
Oh, bro, he's rude.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Is there a live chat?
Yeah, you're right. It was his first one.
Okay, okay, so we're good to do that. Okay. All right, you
Man, I
guys.
could have swore they said it was his 4th win on TV.
I think it's his third
Not his
win.
4th win of the year, is it?
No,
it's his
third.
4th Monday win in his career.
Oh, that's probably what it was.
And 2 of them have been this year.
Monday Martin.
Magical Monday Martin Mile.
Martin win
Martin's
Monday.
magical
Did
Monday
you see?
Mile.
Did you see Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. trying to rename the lobster?
Yeah,
to
Larry.
Yeah.
That was great.
SpongeBob.
Y'all need to get off the SpongeBob. What the heck?
All right, y'all ready to actually start this thing and see how it goes?
You know
Sure.
what? All these drivers win this lobster, but I never see them eat the lobster.
Oh man, it looks so good
It
too.
does. I'm not gonna lie.
Ugh.
Kind of made me hungry.
Crustacean.
I think we should name him Sebastian.
Did you see Martin bit the lobster?
He's hungry, man. I want to see the trophy.
Dale Jr.'s like, man, them bands are different than what we did yesterday. Maybe it broke free. Ah, Martin biting it. Like, what if he breaks free?
I missed all that, man. I had horrible reception.
All right, here we go.
All right,
Let's go for real.
for real?
I think. I don't know.
For really real.
Yep.
Actually, for real?
For real life.
Stop.
Maybe for real.
Oh, that sucks. I have too many things to balance. I'm
I
sorry.
got him.
I apologize.
Push the buttons, please.
What's the word?
Pull the lever, Crunk.
Okay, here we go again. We're going to try this one more time. It's a Monday, and several loose tires and trips into the wall causes some problems, but they would not stop Martin Truex from getting his first win at his home track, and we are here for the speed. All right, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. This is DJ. I'm with Here for the Speed. I am always joined by... That was your...
Me.
No.
Well,
Me.
you're not always.
Aw.
Me, Jake.
I have my
You're
weeks.
most of the time. Most
Most of the time. I'm kind of reliable.
Yeah.
Number 1 Brad Keselowski fan. Matthew. E.
So, it was a Monday, so we had to try to watch it when we could. How did everyone do? Did we all get? I can tell you, I did
pretty
not,
good.
I
I made
didn't-
about 85%.
I watched stage 2 and 3. I didn't get a chance.
I
to
mainly
see one.
listened to it. I listened to it. It was good because it started right at my lunch break, so I did pretty good there. I have a long lunch break, and then from there I was able to like kind of listen and tune in here and there.
Yeah, Matt. I know you didn't have real good service
No,
where you were.
actually, I mean, I got to start. I watched pretty much stage 1 in and out, and then I missed all of stage 2, and then I kind of jumped back in like the last 100 laps or so.
You didn't miss a whole lot in between there.
I didn't think so. I mean, there was a few
That's true.
cautions, but I don't know really what. I think Bell spun out.
Bell
somewhere.
had
I know
something happened. Yeah, I don't remember.
Almirola spun out. He just couldn't figure it out. Hit the wall. I don't know.
I love how you say like Amarola couldn't figure it out, but it was literally his tire, like fell off.
You should have figured out how to drive it better. The tire would have stayed on.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think that's how it works, Matt.
Hey, listen, man. I'm just saying.
Yes,
They're
if,
professionals.
if
They
you
should
dri-
professionally
if-
know how not to wreck.
yes, it's called park the car.
There you go. Full of Williams.
Oh my god.
It was crazy that they struggled getting that wheel on and still didn't get it on.
Yeah, that was kind of
Because he had a long pit stop there too, where they were about to go around, they came back, jacked it back up, worked on it, got it, and then went around, finished the pit stop, and it still fell off.
I wonder why they're like. I feel like there's certain tracks that always seem to have this kind of problem, and I wonder if there's like something with the package, maybe with the ride height or something, and the fenders being a certain too low or something.
I don't know. I mean,
maybe they can't get the tires all the way in. I don't know.
I mean, they had plenty of room on pit road. Like, it's not really the tightest pit road. Like, it's not known for being a struggle. I just think it comes down to execution. I mean,
I think it comes down to you're running out of time. You're in the top 10. The pressure is probably or top 5 even. Pressure is probably the highest it's been all year on your team.
Yeah,
and you got to perform.
Yeah,
pressure is definitely building now. We're definitely into that. Getting into the playoff swing.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of time running out for some of these guys that haven't necessarily locked themselves in.
Yep,
so
pretty much. And this was Eric Almirola's chance, and his pit crew's probably doing everything they can. You got Martin Truex over here. Every pit stop was on
insane fast.
All the Toyotas I noticed, they were dropping like 9.5s. Almost.
Not Christopher Bell.
He had one bad one from what I saw.
I think he had 3.
Did he have 3?
He had at least 2.
I know the first pit stop was bad. I think he dropped like a 12-second or 13-second.
Which is funny because literally, 2 years ago, that was like amazing.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. But I mean,
isn't it crazy they remove people that are like, pit stops are going to slow down so much, and they've sped up.
Yeah, well, both lugs.
I mean, that last pit stop, 2-tire change was a 4-second stop.
Difference.
I think
it does, but not
a lot.
Crazy. I think they've just gotten that freaking good.
Not the 3 or 4 seconds that we have now.
No, I mean a 2-tire stop was 4 to 5 seconds,
which is insane.
Like whoa,
like we're starting to get into Formula One like numbers. Like
yes.
That's insane. So I mean we got to watch most of it. So what do we think of the race? What did you guys think overall?
For the parts I saw, I really liked it. I thought it was a really good race. I didn't like. It was a typical Martin Truex domination.
Yeah, every time.
That's how he wins, right?
But
every time that's how he wins.
He dominates the race.
Yep.
But I felt like it was closer than it usually is. Like it was.
You
didn't see Martin Truex have a 4 to 5 second lead. He had maybe
that's all the cautions at the end.
0.8, a 0.5.
Yeah, but even leading into like the stage 2 and stuff like that, his lead I think was only like 3 or 4 seconds,
if that.
Yeah, and Blaney looked like he might have a car to beat him.
Oh yeah,
at one point. And I think that penalty just basically killed
him, and he overdrove the front. I mean, you could just tell he was getting everything he could out of it.
Yeah,
he said he killed the front tires.
Yeah, but the thing is, even Martin, like they were saying, Martin was struggling because Blaney was putting so much pressure on him. Martin was trying to find a new line, and he was saying like I can't go up any higher. If I go up higher, I lose it. I'm slipping and everything. So. All in all, I mean, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good race. I thought for the most part, it's tough because like we say multiple times, every time that he wins, it's usually he pretty much dominates the whole race, and it's kind of boring up in the front. There was some better racing, but I think it was still kind of I mean, like we were talking about our show sheet today, and it was like, well, what do we talk about? It's like, I don't know. Like there wasn't a whole lot of topics that came up.
I mean, I don't know. All right, so let me butt in here. So I kind of disagree a little bit, and I think that's part of that's because the race finished. We were all still at work. We had a couple hours of work to wrap up. Nice one. Doesn't she know we're on the podcast? Isn't she watching?
She texted me and said, "Are you guys on the podcast?" I said yes.
And if you didn't answer,
no. So I mean, but we're normally sitting down during post race to start getting ready to go live on YouTube and everything, and now we're 3-4 hours removed. A lot's happened in between then, so we're trying to compile our thoughts because I think a lot did happen in this race. We saw a lot of pit road mistakes, speeding or running over equipment, dragging equipment out of the box. Tires falling off. That was a result of Noah Gregson's crash. Was same thing. He was on his out lap after his pit stop. Tire fell off.
Wow. You can even see the lug nut fall off.
Because they were saying it might have been the brakes, but I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. But he said in his post race interview, which I'm not sure they showed on TV, but I saw it on Twitter, or I guess to say post incident, was that he was on his out lap. and the tire fell
Slutty.
off. So
There was a lot of loose tires
a lot
today.
of pit road issues today.
Yeah.
But I think this was. So I'm not a huge fan of New Hampshire. I don't really think it's that great. But this surprised me a lot today. I mean, how wide was the racing group? 5 lanes?
The thing
Well, 4 plus the apron. So
there
you
was
had your preferred.
yeah, depending on who was driving, they were on the apron.
Yeah, you had your preferred lane, but you could run other lanes.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
feel like the second and the third were the preferred.
I felt like the arching
but
was a
you
lot
could make
different.
passes
Yes.
in 1 and 4.
I was noticing that like whoever was on like the third line, it was really weird because like their entry would be like really fast.
Yeah.
Then the middle of the turn, probably second and first
feather
lanes
it.
would start to pull ahead, and then by the time they'd come out of two, the third lane just
It was
had
almost
all
like
this
they
momentum.
arched wide and then cut tight and gassed it.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird, but I thought it was
So
interesting.
For which lane?
Probably
like
like
the
the third.
So they were
line.
probably going from lane 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And then
So
they
what
gassed
happens
it and
is
went all the way to first. It was
what
wild.
happens is they're diming the corner, so they're coming in off the wall across the second lane, and it looks really weird because of how wide and how just big the corner radius is.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically you drive that thing in way deep, and then get it to turn, and you point it out. But you really, instead of having a smooth arc, it's really more of like a diamond shape.
Oh.
But yeah, it's called diamonding the corner.
Yeah.
Where you're going to go across the
It
different
seemed to
lanes.
work for some guy. Like there was like Chastain who didn't have a great day, but I would notice like that was how he was making up all his time. Was people would be on in lane 2 or 3 or so, and he'd be out in 3 and 4 doing that diamond kind of thing, and was able to on the straightaways because of the momentum off of the back of the turns, he was able to kind of pass him on the straightaways.
Can you explain why the inside line could not restart as well as the outside?
I don't know. Probably something to do with the asphalt.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was like, it's just
It was so consistent. It wasn't like because
it was every single restart. Like if you chose the inside, you were going back to third.
Yep.
You know, you might have that chance, but
You're
going to
you're
third.
gonna lose a car length, maybe a car and a half.
At least.
It was bad, but it was
We
not only
see
in
that
Cup
we
Series,
see
it was
that
in
at some
Xfinity
tracks
too.
too.
I
We see
noticed-
that. There's
I
some
noticed,
tracks. There's a characteristic.
I
About
think it
that.
was Logano on one of the last ones. He was on the inside, and it looked like he just spun the tires.
So
Yeah.
the
So
only thing
I don't know if it's more. It must be a lot less grip down there.
I was gonna say maybe because you're pretty much everybody's running up against the wall at that part of the racetrack. Perhaps in the straightaway against the wall, there's more rubber. It's really the only thing I can think of, unless there's just a different
know.
characteristic in the asphalt.
Yeah, who
but,
knows?
I mean, it could be even they pave it in 8-foot sections, right, or 10-foot, depending on the racetrack or
Right.
whatever. So it could be that section of pavement is just has more grip than when they pave the second line. It just we'll
tough to
see
say.
that if you pay attention, you'll see that throughout the year. We seem like we saw it a lot at the beginning of the year, and it kind of went away.
Yeah.
But now it kind of seems like it's starting to come back a little bit.
I don't know. We've had some weird races in between.
Well, the last few have been really weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
What are we 3 in a row in a rain delay?
well, if you count the
4 in a
rain,
row.
the weather that affected, what was it, Kentucky, or what? It was the first
Chicago,
There was the one before Chicago.
Kansas.
Nashville.
Kansas. Nashville. That's the one. Sorry, Nashville. They had to push the start time up because of weather.
Yeah.
So literally every single one of NBC's broadcasts so far has been affected by weather.
Yeah,
I think Dover
4 in a
was.
row.
4 in a row weather affected
row.
races.
Yeah.
3 of them that were either cut
That's what
short
it is.
or delayed or whatever.
It's the vortex theory.
Who was it on Twitter that was posting? It's like, look,
Brad.
was it Brad?
Brad.
Yes. It's like
13 years.
Building
is-
submarines, buying takes, getting on board with the vortex theory.
It's
He
true,
is
man.
officially
You keep the vortex
falling
going.
off the deep end.
dude, if he comes out and he's like, they're turning the frogs gay, I'm just gonna lose it. He comes out and starts talking
Get an
like,
Alex Jones sponsor.
oh my gosh, an InfoWars sponsor.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be
the
hilarious.
InfoWars Ford Mustang. Might have to make that up on iRacing.
Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious.
Have a gay frog on the side of the car.
You just put the quote
Lizard-
on the
lizard
bumper.
hybrid.
We're making the frogs gay.
human hybrids like somewhere
Oh,
in there.
gosh.
Oh
yeah.
Well, let's bring
That's-
it back.
Yep, that's a rabbit hole. All right, so do we think so? The problem we've had with New Hampshire is it's never. I shouldn't say it's never. It's traditionally has not been one of the better races, right? Like we were talking last week, even how we're like, man, do we even need to go to this track anymore? Like, should we cut this one and get something else?
Yeah.
Do we think that is it a short track package or is it a track issue?
No,
here.
I mean, what'd you think of the race? Did you like it or not? I mean, I loved everything I saw today. Like I've been like what you're saying, like not on the New Hampshire bandwagon. But if you bring that back with this tire having good fall off, where it had enough fall off,
they
where
did bring
you
a new
could
tire this week.
I know,
Yeah.
but it had enough fall off where you could do 2 or 4, and there was some difference. So it just created some strategy, man. It was super refreshing.
I think it did. I don't know how much. So overall, I enjoyed the race. Like I would say it was good, but there just wasn't. If it, how do I say this? Without the cautions that happened, like the random stuff, right? This would have, I think, been a fairly boring race. But then again, is that also just because it's Truex and Truex always has boring races when he wins? I don't know.
I didn't think this race was boring.
I don't think it was boring. There just wasn't a lot of action.
So
Man, I don't know. This is by far, in my opinion, the best short track of the year.
I wouldn't say that.
Name one better.
Richmond?
I thought Richmond was a lot better.
Richmond
No
was a lot
way.
better, I
You don't
thought.
think so?
Richmond is overrated.
You just like the lobster. That's why.
I mean, I do like lobster. but I mean, I think coming from the new tire, which created some wear,
I do
which
think
we
the
didn't
new tire,
really have at
the new
Richmond.
tire was better. That did
Right,
help.
But we didn't have that at Richmond.
No.
You had more aggressive driving. Didn't have that at Richmond.
True.
I mean, they were driving freaking. They were hanging it all out.
I think Jones was
That's
trying
what
to
she
hit
said.
every single thing but the pace car.
Do you see? I kind of felt bad for Gibbs and Bowman.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was just driving into them. I was like, bro, this is unwarranted. Like, do you see all the time
I don't
Bowman
know.
got hit?
How many times are they going to start blaming Chastain?
No.
Like
Oh,
Bowman,
man.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bowman doesn't stop lifting because like it was. I was like, man, this is ridiculous. I would be.
Yeah.
I didn't
I'd
really
be
see it.
fighting
I
people
didn't
after
think they
this.
really broadcast it that much. There was one.
There was one
where he
specific
got-
incident.
I thought he came down on. It was when he. It was.
It was toward
like
the
50 to go.
Yeah, it was toward the end.
And Bowman went up and came down, and
I
Ty
don't think
Gibbs
he
was
came
there.
down.
I thought he came down.
When you looked at the overhead shot, that's the lane he's going to have to take to not drive into the outside wall coming out of 2.
Yeah, but he also has
He
to
has
know
nowhere
who
to
he's
go.
around.
Huh?
He's around a rookie. Like you got to know who you're around.
Yeah, but do you
I
lift?
completely disagree. Ty Gibbs 100% stuck it in there, hoping it would work, and it was never going to work. Bowman didn't have room to go any higher. Like
Yeah.
he could have. He
I
could
didn't
have.
see the
He
front.
could have
I saw
right
the
there
side.
at
I
the
thought he came
racetrack.
down.
He could have right there in that racetrack gone higher, but then he never would have made the corner exit. Never.
Yeah.
Even if he would have slowed down, 3 of them were not fitting right there, in my opinion, from what I
That's
saw.
true.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm kind of like, you got to be, as Ty Gibbs, you got to be a little smarter there and be like, you're just not going to make that stick. It's just
Yeah.
not going to work.
3 wide's
Yeah.
not going to work.
Yeah,
But I mean, that speaks to the whole race was super aggressive.
it was. I thought.
They were racing each other like dogs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think it was a bad race, but I don't think it was like one of my favorite races of the year.
This was the best Richmond
Now-
race I've ever seen.
Here's
Well,
another
it's
thing.
New Hampshire, so
Sorry, excuse me. This
What's
was
the best
Richmond
This
race.
was.
DJ got me messed up on that Richmond.
No. So I think, however, to be fair to this track in this race, we came off of Chicago and Atlanta, which were both very exciting, I thought.
yeah.
And then we come into this race. So is it kind of, we got used to a high and now we're kind of dipping down?
I still think it's a great race.
Well, okay, but
You
It's
are
not
like
Atlanta
it's
great.
down here.
It's not Atlanta great.
yeah, come on.
Man, okay, Atlanta and New Hampshire are apples and oranges. You can't compare them.
Agreed.
But I would say, as far as short tracks go with this new car, this was the best short
Is
track
Gateway a short
race.
track?
Huh?
Gateway's a short track, right?
No, I don't
No.
think so.
No.
It's
I-
close.
I hate Gateway. I think
It's
that's
a little
bad-
more like Dover, I think.
I do not like Gateway.
I thought,
I thought
Gateway
Dover
was-
was great this
I
year.
like
I kind of like
Dover
Gateway
was good.
though.
I like
It's
Gateway.
boring.
I like Gateway because it kind of pushed the machines to the limit.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you saw a
I
lot
thought
of
they
you
were-
saw parts failures. That's
Yeah,
I
there
mean,
was a
I
lot.
kind of like that.
Or were they just using cheap parts because it's Gateway? Like, oh, we'll put on the B parts.
Okay, that's a ridiculous comment. We'll talk
You never know.
a little bit.
Alrighty.
But I mean, I think I like that about Gateway. The racing wasn't super phenomenal, but I mean, the restarts were really
Yeah.
good. And then you saw parts failures. I like that, man.
It definitely the cautions definitely helped. Like definitely helped to make it, and because like toward the end, because I think if you had just let this race play out, it was going to be an obvious domination by Truex. And I think having those last few cautions definitely helped kind of spice things up a little
Yeah.
bit toward the end. Definitely helped it. like I said, I don't think it was a bad race. I just don't think it was a great race. Like I'm kind of just like it was good. Like I don't know.
I've been there.
Yeah, I don't know. It just,
man. See, I'm different, man. I'm excited for New Hampshire.
yeah, I
like,
know you're
next year.
different. You're wearing like rose-colored star glasses.
I'm excited for New Hampshire next year.
I am too. I think with the new package and the stuff that they are kind of working on, I think it's really close.
I guess the benchmark for me is if I can't wait, if I'm excited for the race the next year, then it's a good race or maybe great race. It's only like there's only a few races like Charlotte, like Coke 600. That was a great race.
Yeah.
Atlanta, great race. Charlotte or Chicago Street Course, I wouldn't put that as a great.
No,
it was good.
It was good.
I want to see it again next year. It was good.
Yeah.
So, but for New Hampshire to be, I never cared for New Hampshire at all. Then to flip to okay, now I want to. I'm happy this is on the schedule.
Yeah.
Like that to me is checking the box. Like,
Yeah.
I liked what I saw today. I mean, what else did you want to see? You saw guys struggling with handling. You saw guys multiple racing lanes. You saw tire fall off,
Brad
and
did
you saw
really good.
guys wrecking on their own because they just lost it.
Yeah.
What else do you want? What else could the race give you? And what we saw side by side 2 and 3 ride racing for 10, 15 laps
For a
into a
little while.
restart. Like
Fair enough.
I got a question for you.
I don't know
DJ.
what else
Yeah.
you want from a short track.
Would your answer be different if you picked Martin Truex Jr. in
I
your
did.
fantasy? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't think you did.
Yeah, no, I totally picked Truex.
Oh,
and I
okay,
had
good.
Larson. He was in third. So
If you didn't pick Truex, you were.
you know what's funny was Megan. Why is everyone picking Truex?
I
And
was
it's like,
she
well,
didn't watch practice.
clearly.
I saw your text and I was like, oh, maybe he didn't pick Truex. I didn't go back. And
I was
No, I
totally.
did.
I was
This
like,
should be a great race for
you
you.
see
man.
my response? I was like, I don't know. He's been hit or miss. I
Yeah.
might change him. I was never gonna change him, bro.
I was
I
wondering
was trying
about
to
that.
like trick the whole group.
Oh, I was wondering about it because I was like, no, because if I listen to Jake, then it's going to
If
just.
anything, I was trying to deter Jeff so I could try to make some ground on him, which I think we did this week.
Yeah.
I got 30
So
something.
Lewis said he didn't like the race either. Just FYI.
What?
It's all right.
Yeah.
He's not a NASCAR fan.
It's his first year.
Okay, I got a
Anyway.
real question here.
So, okay, yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Okay. Are we as NASCAR fans the minority of race fans? Because I feel like every other motorsport, people do not like passing. If you win the pole, you're destined to win the race, and that's a great race for you. I feel like in NASCAR,
I feel like you're talking about F1.
F1 and
specifically.
IndyCar. Usually IndyCar, whoever wins the pole is gonna win that race. It happened this weekend. It happened the weekend
I
before.
think that's street courses, though, in general.
I think that's
Yeah.
street courses.
But
Street
agree
courses
with
are,
you.
are
they
very
still
tight.
have millions of fans.
Yeah, but the biggest IndyCar race is the Indy 500, which has a tremendous amount of passing.
Yes, but week in and week out, NASCAR fans crave and want passing.
I
Yes.
think
You know what I mean?
I think it's if you look at IndyCar and ovals, you see
I
a
also
lot
think
of
about
passing.
dirt
Yeah.
cars.
So I think
A
like,
lot of the time when you're
You know
watching
what-
dirt cars and sprint cars, like whoever's starting that race is typically going to win it.
I think the
unless
difference,
there's
though,
a huge issue.
the difference is I think Formula One fans and NASCAR fans are very different. They want different things. Like
Yeah.
the core fan, I should say. Like a NASCAR fan, we want to see what? Door banging. We want to see tough fighting. We want to see bumper to bumper. We want to see them going at it.
I want a
right?
good race.
We want pass. But see, that's what would we
There
describe as a good race?
wasn't a lot of passing at this race, but
That's-
it was still a good race.
Okay.
you didn't think there was a lot of passing?
Not for the lead, no. Martin Truex Jr. led like
See, I don't care about
280
I don't care about
laps.
passing
Yeah,
to
but the
lead.
lead is not
What
the
does that
whole
matter?
race, to
Yeah,
be
it
fair.
doesn't-
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
The cameras on the leader the most.
I didn't think it was today. I felt like we were.
That's
in
'cause
split-
they
I
were
felt
like-
we were
they were-
in split
I don't know.
cameras the
I-
entire race.
I
They
felt
were.
like it was 50% Martin Truex Jr., 50% the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's a pretty good split, though.
Yeah,
You
but
got to
if you're
cover the
leading-
leader.
yeah, if
So
you're leading the
1
race.
to
Yeah,
39.
because okay. Let me put it to you this way: Martin Truex sponsor. I don't know how to say their name. Reese,
yeah.
whatever. Do you want you're leading? Your car's leading the race.
I get it.
I want the TV time.
I get
my
it.
car's leading.
I just feel like as NASCAR fans, we crave a good race, a lot of door banging, a lot
Yep.
of passing.
I think Formula
that-
One looks more into
a
the
lot
strategy, like
I
the strategy of it.
I agree with you. Formula One and NASCAR are not even
The fans are different.
Fans, that's
Jump
why you
on
don't see
any
a lot
other-
of crossover.
Nah, jump on any other motorsport. Pick one. Whoever usually wins the pole is going to win the race. It's so typical. It's
I don't know.
almost-
I don't. I
But
don't know
most of
enough
the
about
races
that to
you're
check.
looking at are road course, street course racing. that you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, think about like when we
There's
go to
not much
local.
other kind.
Think about like what we watch on Flow or go to New Smyrna. It's not like that at all.
Usually,
That's
who starts in the
stock
front
car,
is going to
short
win.
track, oval racing does not. It like DJ said, when you're in a street course and you're in an aero sensitive car like an
There's-
IndyCar F1 car, you can't put a bumper on a guy and go for a pass. It's just two completely different types of racing.
it's better to
You just
go
can't.
during
So
the
you have
pit
to beat
stops.
him on strategy. So if you would prefer the beating and banging style of passing, you're not going to be as drawn to the clean and or strategy passing.
I don't know. I still feel like a minority.
Well, I mean, NASCAR is one of the biggest motorsports in the world, so I think we're safe in not being a minority.
for now
NASCAR is still the biggest motorsports in the United States by far.
by a lot.
Not even close.
Yeah.
ARCA has more views than
I was just
IndyCar.
wondering.
How about this? ARCA has more views than IndyCar does on a lot of their races.
That's sad.
How do they have so much money? How?
ARCA? I don't think they have any money.
No, I think he means Indy. How does
Oh,
Indy
Indy?
have?
Oh, I have no idea. Their sponsorship model must work out way better. I don't know. Not sponsorship, but their business model must just work way better.
That and Roger Penske's like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going.
Come on, we're going to get another catch.
No, I think they're just not even the same.
I don't know. I just feel like every other motorsport is like, we don't really care
I feel
for
like
passing.
to go back to your dirt thing. I mean, if you show up and you have the exact right setup and you nail it, and you qualify good, you go through your prelims good, your heat race is good, you're gonna have good starting position. And if you've nailed the setup, it's just if you've nailed the setup, you've nailed the setup.
I just don't see how that's
everybody
entertaining.
else is still searching for that. Then it makes it difficult. But I mean, the
so-
Eldora Million was a phenomenal race.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, it was good.
I think it also depends on. So, Dale Jr. made a comment. We talked about it before, where even if it's a race like today, where Martin Truex led pretty much the whole race, there's still good racing happening somewhere on that track, and you have to find it.
Yeah.
So I think it depends too on like the broadcast. Looking at like Fox, and I know we rag on them all the time, but they aren't as good at showing the battles in the back of the pack, the battles happening in 10th, 15th, 20th.
I guess that's what I
Whereas
liked about this race too.
NBC, they do a better job of highlighting all those battles. So I
guess
think that
that's
helps.
what I liked about this race is there was battling throughout the entire field.
There was.
all race long.
Yeah,
You know, the first 5 or 6 would get kind of strung out, but from 6th, 7th, 8th on back, it was a freaking dog fight.
Yeah, I thought it was a really
mean,
good race.
I can appreciate a fight for 10th almost as much as a fight for the lead.
at this point in the season, it's important.
Heck yeah, man!
Dude, I'll
Every
tell you.
point matters. We're getting to the point of the season
There's
where
what
now
three drivers that are separated by like 3 points.
a
I
handful
was
of points.
just going to look that up.
That's
Yeah.
Now that's just to get into the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
Now, also, what you don't really see unless you really start looking is the regular season standing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to move all the leaders around because their wins don't go to that bonus
Yes.
yet. So you can even say you're running 4th. Every couple points you get to try to get 3rd is more playoff points too.
More
and
playoff
that's something
points.
the broadcast doesn't really get on.
more money to
Every
the teams.
spot matters for no matter. I don't care if you have 5 wins.
Yep.
Every spot still matters.
Exactly.
Unless you are leading the championship by a mile.
Man, Michael McDowell and Daniel Suarez are 16th and 17th by 1 point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Bubba Wallace is in by just 2 points.
Yep.
yeah, they're all within 3 points of each
They
other.
are all extremely happy Martin Truex Jr. won this race.
Right? All right, so let's move on to our next topic because we've been on that one for a while. Ross Chastain officially becomes the new home for the sponsor that is Busch. So Kevin Harvick, longtime sponsor of Busch, is going to be going to Chastain. What do we think of that? Was that? I mean, we've been talking about. We kind of expected this. This has been talked
Yeah,
about
I mean,
forever.
obviously, we're pretty big Ross Chastain fans, so I think that's pretty exciting
Yeah.
to see him kind of land something so big. I heard a rumor today that Advent Health may
I
be
have heard
looking
that.
for another opportunity somewhere else.
Really?
Because it sounds like Busch took that spot.
There-
Because Trackhouse sells out. Like, they're probably
Well,
almost sold out for next year.
There is. We'll talk
They
about
sell
it.
out way in
We'll
advance.
talk about it a little bit more in the About It Not About It. We have a topic that I think might play into that.
I mean,
Yeah,
do
so-
sponsors really get into like conflict of interest?
What do you
'Cause
mean?
I don't really think Advent Health and Busch Beer.
They want to be the main title.
It's just about being top dog.
Being on the
Like,
car.
Well,
on
it's
the
think
car.
about, okay, let's say
Busch probably wants the whole car.
It's like this. So Kubota has a small handful of races.
Right.
Jockey has a small handful of races. There's a
Mahindra.
handful of sponsors, that have a small handful of races, right? They only do like 3 or 4 a year, like the magical vacation planners.
Yeah.
When we talk to them, they do 4 races.
Be a Moose is another one.
Yep. So if you have a bunch of those and you have one sponsor that's going to do 16, say, I'm just throwing a number out there. And let's just say this is just I'm just saying, let's say they're going to pay you $5 million a year to do those 16 races. I'm not saying I don't have any idea what the sponsorship costs. And then you get Busch Beer comes in there, hey, we'll do it and we'll pay you $8 million a year. Okay, unless you have a signed contract with this other sponsor, they're out.
Yep.
And Busch is going to take over that figuratively, 16 race. And then if Suarez is almost sold out, that means you no longer have a place for Advent Health.
Yeah, which has been a pretty good sponsor and been with.
And again,
Chastain
we don't
for a
know
long
for
time.
sure. It's just a rumor that they may be leaving.
Yeah.
I could see them changing and maybe. Actually, I heard another rumor is the Project 91 could get a lot more support because they have the Advent Health money.
Maybe. So that's possible. Please turn the thing off.
Sorry.
That's the second time, Matt. Yeah. So I mean, this is not hugely life-changing news. We definitely heard that. So it's nothing like majorly different. But nonetheless, it's still something that, I mean, it's big news. This is something that I think that move last year, the watermelon crawl kind of cemented this and was like, man, if we could be on that guy's car, think of all the amount
he
of
got
things.
so much attention last year. Like,
Dude.
you could only imagine, they were just itching.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah.
They were ready to fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
Well, I think Bush's advertisement that's not race centered is all about the everyman, the blue collar man, and who is the most blue collar driver in the field.
Exactly.
Ross Chastain. It's a perfect match, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know unless Stuart Haas hired Ross Chastain. I don't see Busch even staying with Stuart Haas. Obviously, you're Stuart Haas. This is a massive blow,
Yeah.
and you're potentially losing Eric Almirola this year.
And Smithfield if he leaves.
Yeah, so
Because if you lose Eric,
there's a
you lose
potential to
Smithfield.
lose. Well, you've lost one, but there's a potential to lose another major partner. I mean, Stuart Haas could be in really big trouble next year.
Could be.
And you see the 41 is sponsored a lot by Haas Automation.
Yeah.
I think the 14 even has a few of those. I mean,
Yeah, who's the 4 going to get?
who knows?
Yeah.
Not mentioned yet.
I mean, maybe.
Mobile One, maybe. I think
yeah,
Mobile
Mobile
One.
only one.
not for the
Mobile
whole
One
time.
only does a
Yeah,
a
not a
handful
lot.
of races
Um,
across multiple cars.
Does Josh Berry have any money with sponsors that he
The
works
only
with?
thing I can think of is maybe Bass Pro because that's what he has right now. But it's
But that's a pretty.
but Bass Pro's already on Austin Dillon and Martin
And
Truex.
Truex,
I don't see
yeah.
that changing unless Martin Truex leaves. Then maybe Bass Pro goes to Stuart Haas. That could be a thing. But with Truex running like this, actually, can we talk about Truex real quick? Because I don't think it's in the about it, not about
It's
it
not.
as far as whether he's going to retire or not.
No.
So everybody keeps saying, man, if he keeps running this good, maybe he's going to not retire. Maybe he'll stay. I think the opposite. I think he's going to go out the top dog higher than anyone else has
it's
ever
funny
gone
you
out.
say that because before, when I remember I was saying I was listening to interviews with him and Gibbs, with Coach Gibbs about it, and he even made a comment that, man, it'd be great to win a championship and ride out on into the sunset, and so it's
Right.
I'm calling it now.
if he wins,
If he wins a championship, he does not race next year.
okay, we'll see. I don't know.
I'm telling you, bro.
It could be. He could, because he was. It was interesting in that interview. He was talking about buying a bass boat. He's like, I've been trying to buy one for 5 years, and he's like, I can't make up my mind which one I want. And he's like, that's the problem. I can't. He's like, I'm really bad at big
I'm
decisions.
pretty sure he could just buy
I
them
think.
all.
Did you see he got asked this week if he was reconsidering retiring after he qualified really, really well and
No,
ran a
I
great
didn't
practice?
see that one.
He just ignored the question.
He doesn't.
I'm
know.
telling you, bro. He hasn't made a decision, but it's going to come down to if he wins a championship and
he'll
can,
go out.
and if he can leave on a higher level than anyone else ever has,
Yep.
he'll be off in the sunset.
Yep. I could agree with that. I could go with that.
I'm telling you.
I wouldn't be surprised. So, yeah, we're pretty excited for Chastain getting the Busch sponsor. I think everyone's hoping that there's and I've heard so many people ask about a watermelon Busch.
You know it's coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
It's coming.
Yeah, we'll have to try that. All right, moving on to our next topic. It looks like Junior is going to be running in Homestead in the Xfinity race.
Yay.
Anyway, moving on. No,
I will be at that race.
Yeah, we
It's so
actually,
close.
we're thinking about it. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we are thinking about going to that one.
No, because the only
Not
race he
thinking about-
normally runs is
it's usually like
This is going to be the biggest track he's ran since his concussions.
What track does he normally run?
It's normally
I can't
short
remember.
tracks.
Martinsville, Richmond.
Richmond, that's the one.
He
runs
did
Richmond
Martinsville
almost
last
every
year.
he didn't, not Bristol. What was it? Was
He's running Bristol this year.
was it? Okay, it's
Really?
Bristol
we,
this
should,
year.
we should go to Bristol.
Yeah. All right. one weekend at a time.
Yeah.
Get
All
through
right.
Daytona, make sure we survive, and then we'll plan for the next month. Go to Bristol. The next month, go to
We'll have
Homestead.
to. It's the only way we can do it.
Yeah.
We live our
So
life one weekend at a time.
perfect. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. Always cool to see Junior get back in the car. I mean, I don't
I'm kind
think
of I'm kind of surprised to see him run on a big track like this.
That's-
Which Homestead is I don't want to say like safe, like because racing is still dangerous, but you don't really see a lot of. I can't think of any like big wrecks in recent memory.
it'll
at
be interesting
Homestead.
because Homestead is obviously known for having a lot of different grooves, a lot of different lanes.
Yeah.
Very wide
So
racetrack.
very wide. So it'll be interesting to see if someone like Junior, who obviously has a whole lot more experience than most of the guys in the field, is that gonna help kind of level the playing field for him a little bit more and help him do better? Is he still going to be behind the 8 ball because obviously these guys are racing every week and he's not?
Yeah. I
mean,
think we're going
it's
to
hard
see a
to
lot
say.
of that.
It's tough to say.
I
for
do.
sure.
I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think if he could sneak away with like a top 10 finish, I think
yeah.
it'd be a
That's a
great day
success.
for him. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
For jumping in a car at a track he hasn't
I
raced
think
in
too,
like
like we have to
6
temper,
years, 8 years.
we
Like,
have to temper our expectations too, or at least I do, because Junior Motorsports is they're just missing it this year. That change they did in the off season with limiting the rear end movement has significantly hurt them.
I think it's drivers.
I mean that's part of it.
Yeah, probably to a point. So all right, let's. You guys got anything else you want to add to that topic, or
No, I think we're good.
okay, just making sure. So let's move on to Kyle Busch had a rough day today.
Yes, he did.
Sorry, Lewis.
Rough day, rough
Um,
weekend.
Yeah, well, specifically a rough day, but yeah, he had a rough weekend in general.
You got to see what all the other cars looked like from the back.
Yeah, it's unusual for him. So
That car was just awful.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Awful.
blowing.
But then on the opposite side,
No, it was loose.
Austin Dillon was
Still.
able to run up front for some of the race.
Yeah,
it was
I
weird.
think something about that car was just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, but how much of it is?
Because he used the same car, right? They just fixed the rear
Yes,
end.
they did. I
Yeah,
believe so.
something with that race car was just evil and just not good.
Something was possessed. I wonder
Maybe
how
not that
much.
far.
Yeah, maybe. But like maybe I wonder sometimes what like because Kyle's safe in the playoffs, right? He's got three wins I think this year already.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's
So
good.
it's like how much is the team just trying things at this point?
There's probably some of that.
So I wonder how much
There's
of it's
probably
like,
some of
hey, you're pretty much a lock at this point for at least I'd say the round of 8. As long as you don't totally.
I think he's
implode.
probably not a lock, but
Hey, I'd say
he should be able to pretty fairly easily get to the
at
round of 8
least.
because he's been running good too.
Yeah,
You know,
just
so
based
those
on that.
two things together, he should.
If
If everything keeps going how it is, he should be able to make it to the round of 8.
Yeah, I that's what I'm thinking. So I'm wondering
I
if
think
that's
they're
why
just
they're.
trying stuff.
I
That was a
think
good-
they are.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, they're just trying weird stuff.
I think they are.
And it was probably Fubard from hitting the wall. So,
I mean that I'm sure that didn't
But
help.
it was already messed up in practice. He was horrible in practice.
yeah, it was bad.
I don't
From
know.
the first lap, it was just something with that car was jacked.
And again,
Yeah.
you can't. I don't really blame Kyle Busch for it because he's won at the track with Toyota, so he obviously knows how to run the track.
Yeah,
Now Toyota's got the flat oval thing down.
Yeah.
I wonder, they were really good last year. I bet you they're gonna be good at Pocono.
Yes.
I bet you Toyota's gonna be good.
they probably will be. All right, so let's move into our about it, not about it topics.
about it.
So you don't even know what it is yet.
I'm about the topics.
Oh, okay.
I'm about the segment.
Yeah.
I'm about you guys.
Thanks.
All right, so this for anyone just tuning in, this is our about it, not
Where
about
I
it topic.
live.
That really hit me where I live. Perfect. This is our about it, not about it topics. Basically, I'll throw out a topic and we say whether we're about it or we're not about it. The first one, and this one might go on for a bit. Shane Van Gisbergen is making waves in NASCAR and might actually come and race next year full time. He's said that he has had talks with different people and that there has been a lot of chatter about it. And his team owner, the guy he currently drives for, has said if he wants to go and race NASCAR, that he will not stop them. He will not stop him.
Wow.
By
So-
that meaning he has another contract year for 24, and he would let the contract go
Correct.
I'm sure under some specific
Something.
circumstances
Yeah.
or whatever.
A
But
lot of money.
So, what do we think of that news? Do we like the idea of him
let's
coming in?
just do our about it, not about it, and
And
then we
then
can
go
go
on.
into open
Yes.
discussion, right? I'm about it. I think he'd be great for the sport.
I'm
Go ahead.
about it, depending on the team.
He replaces RFK in the number 6 car.
Not about it. Get him out of here.
Yeah, I'm totally about it. I think it's a good. I think anytime you can bring in a driver from another discipline, I think that's good for the sport, good for just about anything. As long as they're good, don't bring them in and then they're absolutely terrible, right? But this guy's already won.
So-
He's clearly a great driver.
Rick Ware Racing hires him on, and they finally start winning.
I don't think he can make
So
those
now
cars
you're not
win.
about it. So you're not
I don't
about
think
it.
he can make those cars win.
So then that leaves the
I
obvious.
would not be about that because that would not be good
Nah, that
for
would-
PR.
honestly-
He needs, if he's gonna come in, he's got to come in a car that can win
Yeah.
because that's
So-
gonna create the international buzz.
Yeah.
You know,
And so that's something where we were kind of talking about it, like where are the most likely places for him to land? So I think first is Trackhouse with a third team.
Yeah.
no.
Well,
Really?
here's something interesting that we kind of were talking about with the Trackhouse thing. Advent Health. They need a place to go. They already have a relationship with Trackhouse. You might be able to get, and between him and maybe Red Bull, because he does a lot with Red Bull, bring Red Bull into the sport.
Oh no.
Now the only problem is I did hear that there might be a problem with bringing Red Bull into Trackhouse because Suarez is a Coke driver and Coke owns Monster Energy.
All right. Yep.
We'll figure it out.
So let's
So-
back this up with
There's
with
a
Trackhouse.
lot. Yeah,
Here's a
Trackhouse.
hurdle with Trackhouse. What charter?
Charter.
So
They'd
sounds
have
like,
to
He
buy
just
sounds
wanna
like
buy one.
Spire has come out and said they are not selling a
Nope.
charter. Stuart Haas, what I heard today
Unlikely.
was their deal with Ford probably requires them to have 4 cars, so that they don't have a charter for sale.
Nope.
That leaves you who? Rick Ware Racing and Live Fast Racing. Is that the name of it? The 78 car?
Yes.
That
is that
leaves-
DJ McLeod?
Yeah.
Yeah, Live Fast.
That leaves you probably the only 3 charters that would possibly be for sale.
Correct. I agree. Yeah.
And if Rick Ware hasn't sold one yet, what makes you think he is? Also, do we know what a charter is valued at? Does anybody know?
Well, I think the TV deal is honestly going to hinge this entire conversation.
But until that's done,
we don't know.
right?
Now, I did see something.
and
or
the reason is part of that TV deal. Part of the negotiations is the teams are arguing that the charter becomes a permanent fixture. It's on a what's it, a 5-year by 5-year renewal
remember.
kind of
It's a certain amount of years.
Yeah, so they did it for 5 years. Then they have the NASCAR has the right to want to renew it or not, whatever, et cetera. It's very complicated, but basically the teams are saying, "Hey, we'll sign this new deal if you meet our terms." And one of the terms is the charter agreement has to be permanent from now on. So the value of the charter will never go away. Which
Yeah. There's pluses and minuses to
Could you
it.
just
Yeah.
imagine if this whole TV deal falls through and all these charters are worth nothing?
That would
Just listen.
that would be a problem.
that would be
Bad.
not good.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
If the charters become devalued, I mean, now we're getting off into a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
But I could
What we're here for.
I could see Trackhouse and a few of these other teams. Maybe not your Hendrick, maybe not your Gibbs, but I could see some of these teams leaving and starting their own series
It might.
and
So
just say, "Fine."
something
we'll go do our own
interesting.
thing."
Something interesting I saw was Live Fast Racing. I think it is. Was last in owners points last year.
Yep.
They're trending last this year, and if it's 3 years, I believe it is. If they are
NASCAR has the
last.
option to
pull it.
revoke
So
it.
Yeah, so
There's
if-
no way that happens, dude. There's no
I
way.
know, but
it's just NASCAR has an emergency clause to cover any situation whenever.
Agreed.
Like when they shortened the Chicago race before halfway, there's a clause in there that says basically, I won't try to quote it because I don't know, but basically says NASCAR can do whatever it wants in the
in the
basically
event of whatever.
Well,
yeah.
they can do whatever they want in the in the
Look at me.
effort to
I'm
make
the captain now.
the best possible racing experience, kind of
Yeah.
whatever. So they have the right to do whatever they want. So that clause is in there. There's no way they act.
I don't
There's no
think
way.
so, but they may feel the pressure to sell their charter.
And then what? Oh, that's true. So
what
yeah,
I'm
that's
saying
true.
is, just so that way they don't lose out on, man, what if NASCAR does pull it on us, and then we get nothing? At least if we sell it this year, we
But
still
again,
get
what
money.
do you value it at?
I couldn't tell you.
If you're Trackhouse, let's say you don't know. I mean, what was the last charter? Last number I heard for a charter that was for sale was $30 million.
I thought it was. I knew it was over 20.
Yeah. So is Trackhouse going to take a $30 million risk for something they don't know?
I don't know.
Pitbull, yes.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah. Okay. I mean,
Pitbull,
actually,
yes.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, what's $30 million to this guy?
It's Mr.
I don't know.
Worldwide.
I don't know. I feel like it's still a lot of money.
I mean, it is, but I don't know. I just think he's got enough sponsorship that he. Anyway, long story short, with them, as I do think there's an option, but I think he's already got a relationship with Trackhouse. Trackhouse has the Project 91. Now he might start and just be a road course only guy for next year, and maybe he just runs the road course temporarily.
That'd probably be smartest.
And then that way you can kind of build sponsors, and then that'll give you at least another year
you
to
really
figure
gotta
out.
worry about this guy qualifying to getting in the race.
No,
It's not about that. It's about the money payout at the end of the year.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Because if
Okay.
you're not a charter team, you don't get squat for money.
yeah. But this guy I think has got enough sponsorship that I think he can be fine. Another option, of course, is Stuart Haas. I said it after Chicago. I was like, dude, if I'm Stuart Haas, that guy is in my office the next day
Yeah.
because you're
I
in.
don't think they got enough money to pay him.
I would find it.
Well, they just lost it.
I know, but the thing is, okay, look at where they're at now. They lost Bush,
Yep.
right? They have replaced Kevin Harvick, but obviously sponsorship is hurting. They are.
Yeah. How worried are you to be Barry? Sorry, not to cut you off, but
Hold on. Can I read you a funny stat?
Oh, geez.
SVG is only 2 spots behind in the point standings behind BJ McLeod.
Wow.
but no, like
Sorry.
Yeah.
Josh Berry is like, yeah, I got a great car, and now he doesn't have a sponsor.
Yeah.
What does he do?
He drives as best he can and hopes that someone lines up.
Man, I'd be worried.
You might have Eric Almirola that might leave, and if he leaves, then you're losing Smithfield. Then you got to look at, okay, if this guy comes into Stuart Haas, try to bring in Red Bull, which would be a huge deal in NASCAR because Red Bull's not in the sport at all.
Right.
So that would be a huge new sponsor, new market. That would, I think, be a really exciting thing. And if you're Stuart Haas at this point, I mean, what do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're in serious trouble. You're at the point where you got to start throwing some Hail Marys and hope you can land something.
Here's an idea. What about 77 car for SVG?
The problem is he
Ty
going to
Dillon's
want
racing that
is he
car.
going to want to run in a car that's
Spire Motorsports has been making gains. For example,
Yes.
Ty Dillon finished 26 this week. That's a gain.
that's
Better than what they've been running.
I agree.
You're talking
But
about a guy who jumped in the car at a brand new track and won it
yeah,
in a part-time car.
I just don't know if he's
in
going to
a
want to
part-time
jump.
car.
yeah,
but-
like if I'm not going to top tier equipment, I don't know what
He
I'm
doesn't-
doing.
The other
need
option
to.
Why risk it?
could go forward like a 38, replace Gilliland.
Again,
It's not a bad ride. He could probably make that work.
Well, I mean, we've seen what McDowell can do with front row.
I'm pretty sure McDowell's going to go to that 10 car.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised
But
at all.
that was gonna be my other car. My
Is
other pick was
going
gonna
to
be
front row?
SVG to the 10 car.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think is most likely.
Probably don't have a Red Bull sponsor conflict there either.
That's the thing, because that was what I was saying. I don't know if you heard. Like, might be a conflict with Suarez being a Coke driver.
But it's Suarez, and like if it's not the same guy, then maybe not.
I don't know, but I
I don't
mean,
know.
Trackhouse makes the most sense as like the quote unquote international team with Suarez.
If
and
Trackhouse can get
SVG. A third charter.
a third charter, then yeah, that makes phenomenal sense.
Yeah,
I think they will.
they might.
I
Listen,
see NASCAR
Well,
invoking
I think here's the
goal.
thing, right? You got Dale Jr. looking for a charter. You got 2311.
Is he
wants
really
to be a
looking, though?
Huh?
Is he really looking?
There's just not one for sale right now. Basically, what Junior said.
He said it's not financially important right now.
What do you mean?
He said
No,
it
he
has
said
to
he said
financially
he
make
wants to
sense.
go in and buy one and run the team like in junior motorsports. It's a junior motorsports cup team. There's offers to go and there's opportunities to go and partner with somebody, but you're just partnering. You're not running the cup team. He wants to run the cup team, and there's no opportunity for that. To me, that means there's no charters for sale. So
Nobody, as far as I know, no team has raised their hand saying like, "Hey, we'll look for offers." Every one of
when
them
I
is
said
like,
first
"No."
one that does,
that
you
last
gotta be
charter,
worried.
Yeah.
that last charter that was for sale for like $30 million was last year.
Yeah, which one was that? That was
I don't know who it was, but there was reportedly that Dale Jr. was saying he was looking at buying a charter, but the price was $30 million.
the last one that I remember. That was Chip Ganassi when they went up for sale. That was the last one I can remember specifically, but
The last one that was sold, that was for Trackhouse. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
that was 2 years ago.
that was for Trackhouse. Beginning of last year,
Yeah, because last year was Chastain's
first year of
Yeah.
Chastain and 2-car team.
Yeah.
I
So,
think
I don't know. Yeah, because that's the other thing. Like, is NASCAR at a point where they need to open up more charters?
Yes, 50 card field.
I think they should. I think they should add 4 more. But Denny Hamlin makes a great point of like he said early on in his podcast, like first couple weeks, it would be great to have Dale Jr. and 2311 have some more charters, and some of these teams have more charters. That would be great. But then the problem is that
The
takes money away
devalue.
from everybody else.
Yep.
Not just devalue. It takes money from the pot from everybody else.
Yep.
Which
Yeah,
is
but-
already a system that's difficult.
For what, maybe
make
2
money.
years? If they're still steadily going up and they're, 15 million a year. Like what are we looking
You hear my computer?
Yeah. What
I
was
thought
that?
that was yours.
No, that wasn't mine.
Oh.
No, because I have my
Anyway.
computer running through my monitor. Sorry.
No, doesn't it like I feel like after 2 years it would just be obsolete. And yeah, you're gonna take a hit up front, but it's still gonna gain and you'll get back to where you were. I see it as a short term problem.
You talking about the charter?
Diluting the pot. I just see
think,
it as
I think
short
that
term.
the problem is you're paying out 36 spots. So if you devalue that by 4 more spots,
Now you have 40 spots.
I mean that's a pretty significant percentage.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think
That's
I
what
get-
that's,
I
that's
get the-
basically.
I
I
get
can't
the
do that now.
percentage issue.
I'm not
like
that intelligent.
it's almost a 10% devaluation in what your payout could be.
10%.
That's a lot, man. 10% less of what you got before. We're getting before.
Correct.
you have
but
36
wouldn't
spots,
it
you're going to
just
40 spots.
increase later down the road? Because if you're allowing more teams, more drivers,
Who's-
you're going
who's-
to
who's-
increase it.
Yeah, but who's paying out more money? This is the money that the teams
Isn't
make
it
comes
just
from
NASCAR?
comes from the purse money.
Right.
Right. So you know how Bob Pockris always posts the purse? Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's like
okay, I see what you're
8-9
saying.
million.
Yeah.
That's great. That's not what's paid out at that race that week.
Yeah.
That's part of the combined purse that all goes to the end of the year money for owners points.
Oh, gotcha.
Some of that is some race winnings. Some of that is different things. But,
There's different. That's very complicated. Yeah.
the huge slice of that pie is what's get paid out at the end of the year. That's why on DBC they were talking about 100 point penalty, like that's hurts a lot now, and $100,000 fine hurts now, but it's actually way more than that because 100 points equivalates into millions of dollars at the end
Because
of
of the position of where they finish.
yeah.
So it's a bigger blow financially than it really is standing wise.
Which I'm fine with this whole structure because it makes the playoffs even more important because it affects your payout at the end of the year, which
Yeah,
I think is phenomenal.
I think they should still add the extra charters, in my opinion.
I think they should make
because
it.
once
You know
you
what?
bring in-
Here's if you counter offer to Denny Hamlin's, make them all infinite. Okay, but we're going to bring 4 more in and give them who we want to, or give them a buy-in price of $2 million.
Something.
That NASCAR can say, okay, we're going to bring 4 more charters in. Say we sell them for $5 million each. That's $20 million of revenue. We're going to split it between all the teams. You get a nice little chunk of change to agree to bring these other teams in.
Yeah. Does that end up balancing out to where?
What's the number
loss?
to make it? Yeah, to balance out. You
Yeah.
know, because you need Dale Jr. in the sport as a
Yes.
Cup owner. You need it.
You need more Trackhouse cars.
You need more 2311 cars.
2311 is another good one.
Yeah.
They go. I think unfortunately 2311 is definitely overshadowed by Trackhouse, but they're definitely doing a lot of the similar things.
Yep.
So I think it's definitely they're definitely a good thing too.
That
So-
was a long topic.
I told you it was going to be. I knew
There's
we
a
were gonna,
lot to unpack.
There
there.
was a lot in that statement. So all
I
right.
think most likely he goes to the 10 car though.
I think Stuart
I'm
Haas
leaning
is
to the
most
10
likely.
car.
As much as I want him to go to Trackhouse,
Nah, he's going.
There's just not that many rides available.
that's the problem. So if he
But
goes
he
anywhere,
can't even
it's
drive.
in.
He can't even come over to NASCAR till 2025, anyways.
No, that's not
No.
true.
I thought you said his
No, no, no.
contract's up.
His
It
contract's
is.
up, but his owner came out and said
I didn't explain that fully. I don't think.
the owner came out and said if he wants to leave for 24, they'll let the
You
contract go.
guys are just. You have your own information. It's just
No,
not
some
even
of us
fair.
read Twitter. We don't just scroll and look at the pretty pictures.
Yeah, I'm glad you got so much time to do that throughout the day.
No, so yeah,
it's all
so his owner, the team owner, did come out and say that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
basically
Yeah,
he'd let him
they
out.
would let him out of the contract.
His exact
cool.
words were something like, "If he wants to do that, I wouldn't stand
If it was
in the way."
immediate, yeah, I'd probably say the 10 car.
Yeah, that's
If it
kind of
was
what I'm thinking.
2023, he signed for Daytona, 10 car.
I think
Yeah.
next week we should
I think
go
anything
into,
less would be an insult.
I think we should go deep into a silly season
Oh, that'd be fun.
predictions and stuff into next week.
It's gonna be wild now that he's in it.
yeah.
Like, so okay, yeah, we
And
could do that.
it's Pocono.
All right, so moving on. Did NASCAR postpone this race too early? Matt, are you about it? Not about it.
Man, I'm really on the fence on this one because one, having the race on Monday is definitely going to hurt your viewership.
A lot.
Yeah, no ifs, ands, or but about it. People are working; they're not going to be able to sit there and watch the race like they would on a Sunday.
Yep.
I thought it was nice for the fact that all the teams knew what was going on.
It wasn't a
The
last minute
fans
thing.
knew what was going on.
Yep.
But man, they really just took out all the hope of racing on Sunday. They're like, hey, 10 o'clock, you're done. No more. Go home. Like, don't even show up. So I don't know. It was a give and take. I'd probably say I'm not about 10 o'clock. I would have been better for like a 12 o'clock. But that's just me.
Yep. Jake.
I'm about it. I think NASCAR made the right decision here. Based off the forecast, there was a flood warning for the area around the racetrack. It seems like they made the right decision.
Did it flood?
Did it what?
Did it flood?
I
There
don't
was
know.
a
like-
flood warning.
Yeah, see, it didn't flood though. Just a warning.
I think they should just race
It's a
in the pouring
caution.
rain.
Yeah.
well,
If I
If
have
you
to-
wreck, you need to slow down.
this entire race could have went on a wet track. No, I'm just being dumb.
no,
I'm just being dumb.
I'm with Jake. I think that I would prefer them call it early. So New Hampshire doesn't have lights, right?
Nope. And
So-
it has a sound ordinance of like 8:20 or 8:30.
Something like that. So
For Larry.
they can't race They can't race late there. And at best, the best I was hearing was that at best they could hope for was going to be like 5:36 before they even started.
It has
Yeah.
to start at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and they were
Has to.
saying
that's
that,
the cutoff. 5 o'clock is the cutoff.
and that was the best hope for weather was that they were going to
Yeah.
start at like 5:30. So they were never going to get the full race in.
No.
So, and the thing is, they called it early enough that people going to the track didn't actually like. A lot of them probably weren't there yet. Probably hadn't left.
We would have been there.
I mean, yes,
would've
we would have. But
10
we're
o'clock, we're at the track.
let's be honest, we're not normal. So, but the thing is, I think in the long run, I think this was the way to handle it. I think calling it early and just saying, look, we'll just try again tomorrow instead of having everyone wait around because we all know NASCAR is not very good about providing updates to weather and how the track's going. It's good if we can get an update every hour, hour and a half. I
Yeah.
think it was just better for them to just be like, yep, we'll try tomorrow. Forecast is good. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on it, but I mean, it sucks, but it is what it
It
is.
just like
unfortunately.
deflated our entire Sunday.
It did. Yeah.
yeah, kind of killed the hangout.
I was like,
That's
IndyCar, let's go.
yeah. So, all right, moving on to our last about it, not about it topic. Was the race, or I shouldn't say was the race. Today's race is postponed to noon, and is that too early in the day? Jake, I'll let you go first.
Not about it. Hot trash. They need to push this thing back to
Till
the
5
evening.
o'clock.
Get into Monday. Get into Monday prime time. I mean, what in the world else are you going to have on USA or NBC that's going to be better than this on your ratings? I don't know. I haven't looked. I am going to look. But I don't. I mean, 5 o'clock
turn it on.
on
Let's see what's
USA, 4 o'clock on USA just sounds tremendously better than
Yeah,
noon. I don't understand that. I know the team's got to get out of there.
I think that's
But
probably
you're
what it
pushing
was.
for ratings. You need to push it back and get in a good ratings window.
It's
But
not
it was
even
a good race too.
It's not even like though. Like
You know,
Unless
I-
you're DJ.
I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I just
no, those are the exact words he said. It was a good race.
I don't know what I said, to be honest. Anyway, yeah. So I'm with you, Jake. I think it was too early, because I could understand it if like next week's was like you're going to Sonoma, or you're going to like the other side of the country, and it's like, hey, we got to get these teams home because they got to load up.
Yeah, you're still going to the East Coast. You're going to go back to
We're
Charlotte.
going to
You go to Pocono.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not. Pocono
It's probably going to rain there too.
Probably.
No.
Well, so far,
Say that.
statistically speaking,
We're going to the worst track of the season. No.
That's just evil.
this is Matt's favorite track.
The triangle. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm with Jake. I think 4 o'clock would have been better, because trying to, I mean, I will tell you this, based on like the little bit I saw, the crowds, there wasn't a crowd there.
No, they. I don't think they really showed it.
I saw a couple clips.
New Hampshire is a very blue collar state, even though it's up in the Northeast and I think it's very blue. It's still very blue collar as far as like working. Everybody goes to work on Monday.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. I mean, I feel like NASCAR is a blue collar sport and everybody's going to work. I mean, you need to put it on time when people can watch,
or at least like catch the second half of it or something. Where, like I said, 4 o'clock. You start off, because everyone knows the first half of the races are usually not as interesting. Usually, not always, but I'm just saying.
Nothing.
Okay, I'll just stop.
Everybody's allowed to have opinions,
even if they're wrong. I know. All right. So that's all of our about it, not about it topics. So yes. So because
You didn't even ask me.
you didn't go.
I tried.
All right, Matt. What
No,
do you think?
we're already past
props to Megan. We have reruns of Chicago Fire. That's what's happening at 4 and 5 o'clock.
Maybe
Not
it
even
Listen,
like
maybe it
the
gets
new
better
episodes. These
Oh
aren't even
my
new
God.
episodes. These are reruns. All
All
right,
be watching it right now.
Matt.
No, we're already moving on.
No, you made a big deal about it. No, what is it? You about it or not?
What were we asking?
Moving on. Running at noon, as opposed, was it too early? Like having it at noon.
I don't think it was early
the
enough.
postponed time. Oh
We needed
my
a 10 o'clock race.
Oh my god.
We needed it for breakfast, 8 a.m. Right when you're clocking in, start the race.
Perfect. All right, that's why I didn't ask for your opinion, Matt. All right, so moving on.
Imagine people in California.
They're like 4 a.m. Well, I don't know. It depends. Formula One
It's
fans
what,
are
4
like,
hours?
this is normal.
Again, we're the minority.
I know. All right, so let's move on to our
Can you
Kuzman.
give me that Formula One question again?
Which
or
one?
impression?
This is normal. Hey, this is normal.
They're normal.
What?
glad to know you think so highly of Formula One fans.
Oh, it's being normal time, isn't it?
No, you were more like
In it.
Oh, it's dumb. I know. All right, so
them Formula One fans don't like no bump and bang. They only like that strategy.
the Formula.
Press the pass button. Press the pass button. They have a button to make a move. Think
Yes,
about that.
they have the overtake button. The
Your
overtake
Your
button.
Formula
Could you
One impression
imagine?
sounded like cousins that got married in Alabama.
Could you imagine if NASCAR somehow got a push the pass button?
Yeah, it's called a hybrid system.
They're
They've been
talking
working on
about
it.
They're talking
Are they
about
really?
it.
Yeah, that's.
I just imagine like you just lower the car like 4 inches or something, get closer to the ground.
You
No.
ever heard about somebody had that
They
spoiler?
just be holding the button down the whole time.
So
You ever heard
yeah.
that story? They had a spoiler back in the day at Daytona
It was on springs or something?
on a hydraulic that would just drop flat. So they would go around the track and on the back stretch they would drop this spoiler flat, and then when they get in the corner, bring it back up for downforce
So-
and around pit road so everybody could see it look normal. And they go back on the back stretch and go back flat.
Did they have a
So
race with it?
It was for qualifying.
Oh god,
so Matt. So in Formula One, there is a system called curds.
curds.
It's a stupid name, I know.
What is
But-
it?
That's what cows
Curds.
Curds.
Curds. I don't know. I might be wrong. It's DRS. I'm sorry. I'm thinking curds is the push the pass button. That was a different system.
What's the
from
difference?
What are you talking
No,
about?
Sorry, I'm talking about totally full disclosure. Not an F1 fan. So DRS.
F1 fan.
I'm not an F1 fan. Just stupid DJ. So DRS,
Okay.
which is basically the spoiler. It has 2 levels in it, right? So it has like a regular spoiler, and then it has like a lip to a second part. DRS basically takes that middle part and just goes whoop, and it just opens, so you have less downforce.
I just can't get over this description. You get the lip and goes to the second lip. Whoop, and then I'm dying here, bro. It's funny. Sorry.
No, it's a great explanation. I don't. I'm learning.
Listen, you're learning about the turds.
Sorry, I
or the
wasn't
curds.
looking, and I was just listening. And it was freaking hilarious. You got the lip, and then the other lip, and the whoop, and then the
And then they go faster.
Well, it's better than it's better when
push the button,
They push the
whoop,
button, and it goes, and it just keeps on going.
Oh my God.
All right. Anyway,
Wow.
wow, this
All right.
this we just ran off the deep end. All right, so let's move on to the Kuzmin and Quens. Y'all are messing me up. Dang it.
It's okay. I can't read either.
Kuzmin twins.
Oh man, y'all got me all messed up.
All right.
We're moving on to the Kuzmin and Friends question of the week.
Much better.
Yes, thank you. That was better. Okay, so Jake, what do we got for this week's question?
All right. Do you think NASCAR should try to do any international races like overseas? So I'm assuming he's excluding Canada.
Get them out of here.
Really?
Canada.
Oh, you talking about Canada? Or are you talking
I mean, anything that's not part of our continent, I guess. Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I
You
want
said
to.
overseas.
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I will say this. I want to see Mexico for one reason.
I don't know.
No,
I
no,
was talking to one of the
here's
teams, and they
hold
were
on.
not excited
No, no,
about
no.
Mexico.
Here's the only reason I want to see Mexico. What happens to Kyle Busch?
Yeah, that would be a fair question.
He's not allowed to go back to that country.
Permanent security. the
So I will
entire time.
say, let's start this question off by
yeah.
there was a report that NASCAR basically told the teams, get your passports ready.
Yes.
No announcement where, whatever, but they told them, get it ready. So we obviously are going somewhere. The rumor is we're going to Montreal. I think that's cool. I think it's going to replace the Clash. Is from kind of what I understand.
That would be interesting.
I really, really, really wish one day the Clash would go back to Daytona.
Yeah.
It'll never happen, but I can still.
I wouldn't
dream.
say never, but it's not likely.
Why? When you can go to a new market and go to a different market. I just, as the traditionalist in me, okay, let's do that, but let's do another race. Let's bring the Clash back.
You know what would be okay?
We'll do an expedition. We'll do an international expedition race, maybe like in January.
Exhibition?
Whatever.
Expedition?
You're gonna mess with me.
I know.
On mispronunciation.
I have to now.
All right.
Just over here eating my
Questions?
popcorn.
Whatever, Quins.
Quins.
What's the highway over in Europe that you can do like 1,000,000 miles per hour?
Yeah,
on?
The
Autobahn.
Autobahn
Let's
over in
just
Germany.
go there.
There you go.
Just
New street
a
course.
straight run.
Take him to the Nürburgring.
There you go.
Oh my God, that would be a mess.
That would no.
No, I think I like it, man. I'm about it. I wouldn't mind doing it.
Didn't they
I
go
don't.
to
I don't want a
Tokyo?
points race.
Somewhere
Can't
in
be
Japan.
yeah,
I think that'd be fun again.
yeah, but exhibition only. I don't want to see a points race. You know, that's just me.
The problem is making the teams overseas, at least making the teams go overseas for an exhibition.
It's always been an expedition when we went overseas.
I know, but it's yeah,
It's
fair.
too much, man. It's too much, too hard. What if something goes wrong with one of the 40 teams? You can't get over there,
Yeah,
and now all of a sudden you're out of a points race. Like
That's
there's
true.
too many loose ends that could get messed up and get you in trouble, and not get you in trouble, but prevent you from showing up. So I think it needs to be an expedition.
One city or one place, I should say, that I think would be wild, and I don't know what they have, but it would be wild to see something in like Dubai.
Yeah,
They got
That would
enough.
be wild.
They got enough money. They could just build a whole new track for them.
it's kind of real.
Like they got stupid money over there. So huge market. I mean, gorgeous area as far as architecture and stuff like that. You could do something really cool over there. Hey, I mean, that would be something I think that would just be unique. It would just be different. I know Formula One goes to, is it Abu Dhabi for one of their races, or is Yas Marina or wherever that track is. So it's somewhere over there. I don't know exactly the geography of over there, but I think somehow in Dubai would be a really cool thing. So if that's going to be mine.
I
don't
would
see it happening.
Assume that we wouldn't be a big draw in that area.
No, probably not. Well, I don't know. Maybe depends on how you do the event. If you can do the event and make it like like a party, concerts, and all that stuff, and a
not
NASCAR
just
race happens to be
cancel
there, kind of like Chicago was supposed to be.
Just not
Then
just
maybe.
cancel it, all the concerts.
Another one
I
would
think-
be Australia. Anywhere in Australia, especially if Van Gisbergen comes over.
Yeah, I think Australia would be a hit. I think anywhere in Europe near the UK would probably be a pretty good
Probably
hit
the
too.
smartest.
Well, they
I
have
think so.
they have the NASCAR Euro Series over there, so you already have that for
That's
you.
true.
Japan, it'd be interesting. I mean, you got to look at your numbers and look where your audience is. Is Japan a realistic audience? Maybe not. Maybe yes. But I do think if we do go over there and go somewhere, we shouldn't do a street course or a road course. We should go
You
over
gotta
there and
do
do
an
it.
oval.
We
Do
should
an
do an oval. That's what NASCAR is, even though it seems like we're leaving that. But that's the I think that's why it never took off before, because they went overseas and they did street courses and road courses.
And it made no sense in those cars.
Well, this NASCAR only did 2 road courses a year at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, now it would make a little more sense. You know, in a street course now we've done one, but an oval is what NASCAR does.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It'd be nice if you could somehow put like an Atlanta track, right? A small super speedway. That would be, I think, probably. I don't know if that would be perfect, but I think that would be pretty exciting.
that would be pretty.
But I
awesome.
don't know how you.
Everyone over there, they don't like passing.
See, but
So
I-
you need to make sure nobody passes.
Shut up! You're so weird.
Megan said go into Egypt and through the pyramids.
Through the pyramid.
That's realistic. Just up.
I don't think up, down, up. Down.
I think what they should do, and we talked about this with the Chicago street course. Is we kind of talked. I had said that I wish we would go to Chicago and run a short track. I'm not saying build a racetrack, but I'm saying take the streets and make a short track layout out of the streets. You can do that. You know what I mean? Like if you took that Chicago street course and you pick 2 roads that were just real close, and you had a couple of 90-degree corners and made it more short track
Like a square. That'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
maybe a little, maybe a little square.
Ovals, triovals, triangles, and squares. That's what our sports come down to.
You know, we just don't have a good square anymore since they took Indy out.
We just need it. It's
Oh
the
my
closest thing I had to a square.
We did lose our square when we lost Indy. That's messed up.
Bring it back.
That was more of a rectangle, but technically it's
Whatever.
close enough. She was Megan was also saying Australia has too many snakes and stuff. There would be a caution for a giant scorpion or something on the track.
That'd be absolutely hilarious.
It would be
Instead
hilarious.
of a giant lobster, you get a giant scorpion.
You are the Scorpion King.
No.
No,
No.
I think it would be cool. We need to do something that's a little more NASCAR.
Yeah, I agree.
How can you create that Martinsville playoff vibe
Yeah.
that sends people into a frenzy and creates, like
The other-
rivalries forever? Like,
the
how
other-
can you create that?
I think. Well, okay. So
Stop
That's
making
the
rules.
product they got to bring.
my thing is I think you need to. So if you're going to do that, because building Martinsville would be pretty easy, like as far as the track goes, right? It's pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
But you would need to make it have one heck of a purse to make sure those drivers. Because if it's an exhibition race, how you're going to have drivers be like, nah, I'm not going to break my car for
That's
this.
a great point.
But if you have you're making $10 million off this one, something stupid.
Some crazy number.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
you gotta
these
put a
guys
big
are
number
that
on
these
it.
guys are like, because even the All-Star race, $1 million to me, it's a lot of money, and
Not
even
anymore.
but even to these guys, like $1 million is still $1 million, but it's not what it used to be.
Yeah,
They
but
need
now,
to-
but
if
the
they're gonna
problem
do
is
something
there's
like
all
this-
kind of deals. Like the driver doesn't even get $1 million.
No,
He actually, by winning the All-Star race, what I heard is most of the contracts is if you win the All-Star race is less money than winning an actual race.
yeah. See, that shouldn't happen.
That's why people don't care about the All-Star race anymore.
Exactly. And that's, I think, part of the issue. So I think if you're going to do an exhibition like this overseas, put some super huge purse on it and tell the crowd tell the fans, so the fans know, man, these guys are duking out, and that
Hey,
way they're in their
Here's a
shoes.
crazy idea.
Demolition Derby.
Since the Clash and the All-Star race are a winner-take-all format, no points, no nothing, but you do get a playoff berth.
Oh, what?
A guaranteed
A
playoff.
playoff berth.
Oh, okay.
You get a playoff spot.
That's cool.
A guaranteed, whether you win or not. You're in regardless.
Yeah. No, it counts as a win towards
But
earning
no,
it.
but I'm saying even if you're you don't point, you're below the cutoff of whatever
No,
30th
it
point.
counts as a win. Like any other race in the season.
I still think you got to put a stupid big amount of money on it though.
It still put a pretty good chunk of money on it, but
so if you, win
wanna
it, you're just
make
guaranteed
make
at least
them care about it?
16th.
Yeah,
I mean, that might
you're
for
get,
some
no
of the small
different
teams,
than if somebody won this week. You're guaranteed a spot in the playoffs.
Just make it a points race, though.
No points. It's winner take all. You get a playoff berth. That's
Oh,
what's on
that'd
the
be
line.
disgusting.
Just a playoff berth. That's all you get.
You'd have those guys like LaJoy that would just wreck everybody.
Oh my god,
Is that not what we want from the clash at the Coliseum?
I mean, yeah.
that's true.
That'd be pretty baller.
Yeah.
No points. Just
Brad might
it's a
actually
winner
try.
take all playoff point system or playoff position. And it's not a guaranteed, right? Like if you don't win one of the other regular playoff races, or you know what I mean, like it's like the bottom of the barrel,
Yeah.
right? You still got to perform. You can't be like that. Can't be the only thing you did all year, and there were 17 winners. Like you're out, But as long as there's less than 16 winners, you're in.
Which usually happens.
Bro, that'd be baller.
I'm cool with it. Try
That'd
it.
be
See what
baller.
happens. See what happens. See if that's enough. I don't know. So, all right. So that has been our Kuzman and Friends question of the week. Matt, what did you guys all say? Where you thought? Well, you guys kind of said.
Yeah.
The drag race.
Drag race.
Everybody just you start at 50 and you just go.
I always thought it'd be cool to go to like
In
somewhere
between
like
traffic, too.
somewhere with a drag strip like Sonoma. Qualifying's down on the drag strip.
Oh my god.
Make them do a tire change and then take off.
Well, start. You got 36 cars, right? So
Yeah.
you start with 13 matchup, or sorry, it'd be
20.
16 matchups
Yeah. Whatever.
or whatever, and then you go down to 8. And you go down to and do all the way down and work it all the way down, and that's how you determine qualifying.
That'd be kind of.
4-hour qualifying.
I mean, it wouldn't have any bearing on the race, but it'd be kind of interesting.
No, I mean it's just totally different.
Yeah, it would be kind of. I mean, the drivers would hate it, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not driving.
No, there's something totally different.
Yeah. Something different. Yeah, cool. All right, so that was our Kuzman and Friends question of the week. If you guys have a friend, tell them about the show.
Or Kuzman.
Or you have a Kuzman.
There may be more than one out there.
There might be. If
Well,
you
I think he's married, so there's definitely 2.
okay.
There you go.
So
He probably has a mom and a dad, so there's definitely 4.
4.
Maybe siblings.
We're gonna stop there because we don't know. They could change their name at some point in time. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, if you have a question that you want to see us answer on the show, send it over to us on Twitter, and if we like it, we will add it to the show. All right, so wrapping things up, next week we're heading to Matt's favorite place in the world.
It's a triangle.
I shouldn't say favorite place. One of these days we got to take you to Pokemon.
Never been.
I don't.
I heard the party and the race atmosphere is super dope.
Yeah.
The camping atmosphere is supposed to be really great.
Cool.
Weird.
So anyway, what are we looking forward to at the race other than Matt being excited about going to a triangle?
I heard, especially we heard it today, but I've been hearing that brakes could be a problem.
Really?
Like Gateway, long straightaways, heavy braking,
Especially in
into
turn
turn
one specifically.
So we could see that again as teams are trying to push the limit on, because obviously, so when the air goes into the brake ducts, right, to cool off the brakes,
Right.
there is a threshold where you want the brake to be nice and hot. And they talked about this on the broadcast because that makes it work really well. But then the other thing is when you tape up that brake duct, you are reducing drag off the front of the car and making the car faster. So you can build downforce and even set up a little bit if you take more right or more left. So there's some changes that can be made to the car there. So I could see them trying to push the limit. Just don't do like Joe Gibbs and put the tape underneath the wrap. That's a no-no.
Yeah. Don't do that again. I don't know. Pocono I thought was pretty good last year. I mean, I thought it was good. So
The Xfinity race was wild. I remember Jeb Burton hit that wall and started
That was a
flipping.
crazy.
that
a crazy
was.
wreck.
So I mean, it should be a pretty good race.
Honestly,
Pocono-
if it wasn't for Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch getting DQ'd and Chase Elliott winning, I think the race was pretty forgettable. I don't remember anything else besides
I
that.
thought someone else almost flipped in the Cup Series.
I know
I don't
Hamlin
think so.
took out
Kurt
Chastain.
Busch.
This is
That's
where
true.
this is where Kurt Busch met his demise.
Kurt Busch,
That sounds
Kurt
really
Busch.
dark.
That was
Saying it
very
that way,
dark, man.
jeez.
where he
Wow.
met his demise.
I mean, he got
I think
a
this is
concussion.
also the first race that Ty Gibbs ran
Yep.
in the Cup. So he's officially 1 year in.
Yeah, it's officially over his first full-time NASCAR season.
Yep. Take off the rookie stripes.
No, no, you keep
No.
those.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of things like the Kurt Busch incident, Ty Gibbs coming in last minute to fill in. I think, but excluding those things and the DQ of Hamlin and Busch, I think other than that, I don't even remember anything about the race besides Denny Hamlin paying back Ross Chastain.
Maybe this is the race where Chase Elliott finally gets his win and just DQs everyone in front of him. They just do it again.
just DQs them.
Just everyone in front. Or
It's
just
like, you are now DQ'd.
Who do you think is going to be fast? I think Toyota's going to be fast again. Long straightaways, flat corners. Sounds like Toyota.
yeah.
They're
I don't
fast
know.
at Gateway, fast here. I could see Penske being really good, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they were solid today. So
I don't know.
The last year that Gen 6, Hendrick had this joint down, but it seems like the flat corner racetracks, Joe Gibbs seems to be all over it.
yeah.
Not just Joe Gibbs, but Toyota.
I don't know. I just got to see qualifying. Is there going to be practice?
Yeah,
Is there going to be practice?
pending no rain.
So no
Is there
practice.
going to be a race?
Please, no rain.
Question, is there going to be a race?
5 weeks in a row, man. I'm going to start drowning. God dang.
Yeah.
It's not raining here.
It did today.
It definitely
A
did.
little.
I mean, yes.
It didn't rain on me where
It-
I was.
Well,
It
good for you.
poured on rain on me.
It didn't rain here, like where I was at all.
Alrighty. Well, anyway, while you guys are just randomly talking about the weather, I figure we can go ahead and wrap things up. So, do you guys have anything you want to say before we head out?
Yee.
Wow, perfect.
Nah, I don't know. I think Pocono has the potential to be great. I'm just pleasantly surprised with New Hampshire. I'll say that
Oh my
again.
gosh.
You
It
know,
is.
I think New Hampshire has come a long way. Track surface is really good. Tire wear is really good. I think it was pretty good. Pretty good race. Not bad.
Yeah, works for me.
Not mediocre, as DJ says.
Not all the time.
Can't even
Anyway,
pick
Hey,
through
you
it.
should name the episode "Not Mediocre."
see you guys later.
See ya.